BookTube, Chelsea the Reading Outlaw, back to do another Friday Reads video for you guys. I just want to start off by saying thank you to everybody who has commented on my last couple of videos, especially my last Friday Reads video, and who's reached out on email or Twitter or Instagram and all those places with your positive thoughts and your positive words and your condolences about my grandmother and all of those things. I was in a really dark place. I am still kind of in the process of moving out of that place, but for the most part, I'm doing much, much better. I've managed to get out of my own head some and just flip things around. I have my beautiful little rose quartz necklace to channel all those positive vibes and my Harry Potter quote necklace. And yeah, I'm just doing much better, and I hope that you guys are doing much better as well. Let me know down below how you're doing, how you're coping, how everything is going in your life. And of course, let me know down below what it is that you are reading. Over the course of this weekend, I have a couple of things that I'm wanting to get through. It's going to be a pretty heavy, like, non-fiction weekend. That seems to be kind of what I'm feeling at the moment. So to start, I am still reading my way through Neil Gaiman's View from the Cheap Seats. I am about like a third of the way done. I have gotten through his first section, which is his section on the importance of libraries and literacy and stories, which I really, really enjoyed. I will say, if you're going to pick up this collection, it might be better to read like one essay from each section and then go back and start at the first section and kind of do it like that, because having read through all of the first section in kind of one or two sittings, it definitely got a little bit repetitive, which I understand because these are nonfiction pieces that he's pulled from multiple collections. So he was making the same points in a variety of venues, but they do tend to get a little bit repetitive. So I might recommend reading it that way. But I'm really, really enjoying this. Like I said in my last Friday Reads, I think that Neil Gaiman for me works best in shorter doses, and he started his career as a journalist. So he definitely has some nonfiction chops. And along those same lines, I am also reading The Geek Feminist Revolution by Cameron Hurley. This is a collection of essays that are both like former blog posts and like previously published nonfiction pieces, along with essays that she wrote specifically for this collection. And it is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It is essays about writing and geekdom and being a woman on the internet, which, as you know, is a particular hotspot of mine and thing that I love to talk about. This is one, first of all, I have my Luna Lovegood bookmark in there because she seemed like the perfect person for the Geek Feminist Revolution. But then, as you can see, this is one that I have just taken a pen to, like, to the ends of the earth. And I am really, really enjoying it. I have not read much of Cameron Hurley's nonfiction published online, so a lot of this is new to me. But if you've been following her and her writing career for a while, some of these pieces, like I said, will be repeats. But I'm absolutely loving it. It makes a really good counterposition to Neil Gaiman because they talk about a lot of the same things, but come at it kind of from two different lenses, both as a man and then as a woman. Obviously, there are some differences there, so I am really, really enjoying that. On audio, I am about 35, 40-ish minutes away from being done with Ruthless, Scientology, My Son David Miscavige, and Me, and this is by Ron Miscavige, the father of David Miscavige, who is the current, essentially, president and de facto leader of the Church of Scientology. If you've been watching my videos for any length of time, I do not need to tell you about my obsession with Scientology. And this book promised to be even more interesting because not only did it look at the Church of Scientology and its leadership, but it's also a dad dishing some dirt on his son, which I am completely here for. I think that it's really well told. It does kind of rely on some external knowledge of how the Church of Scientology is structured and how it works. Ron tries to provide kind of some operating definitions and some ideas as to the structure as he goes, but he, I think, takes for granted a little bit that readers will already have like a passing familiarity with the Church of Scientology and how it's organized. So that might, you might do yourself a favor and stop by the Wikipedia page first before you get into this. But I'm really, really enjoying it. Like I said, I'm listening to it on audio, and it is not narrated by Ron Miscavige himself, but the narrator does a very, very good job, and it's only like 6 discs long. So it's actually a really, really short read on audio. So I would recommend that if you are into semi-celebrity memoirs or books about Scientology and or fringe religions. And then lastly, because I can't have no fiction going on at the moment, I'm currently reading Song of Susanna by Stephen King. This is the 6th book in the Dark Tower series and follows up on The Wolves of the Kaya, which was the only book that I managed to read for the Tome Topple Readathon, because I failed miserably at that one. I got one of my 4 books finished, but this is the 6th book. It picks up directly where the 5th book leaves off. I'm trying to keep the ball rolling and not let it be months and months and months between each Dark Tower novel that I read. So I am getting into this. I really like it. It promises to focus mostly on the character of Susanna, who is basically our only female member of the quartet, and what she is going through. This is also the book in which we meet Stephen King as a character. For those of you who don't know, the last books of the Dark Tower, which are written by Stephen King, feature Stephen King as a fictional character, so he literally writes himself into the novel. It's very meta. Could be very weird. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it yet, but this is the book in which that happens, so I will report back on how that ends up landing for me as the reader. But yeah, that is what I'm reading. As I said at the beginning of the video, please let me know down below what it is that you are reading and loving this weekend. Please feel free to hit me up on Instagram, Goodreads, Twitter. I am all over the internet, and I am always here to talk books with you guys. All right, much love. Bye.